Hi there and welcome to the channel. In the next videos, I'm going to show you how to install Nextcloud on Ubuntu Server with expandable storage and access it outside of your local network. So because it's a long video, I'm going to split this up in several parts. In this part, I'm going to install Ubuntu Server and configure the hard drives so that we can get ready for the next video. So let's jump into it and we'll go first to the Ubuntu website, ubuntu.com. You will click on download, Ubuntu Server. And you basically have two versions here to choose from. You have the LTS version, which is the long-term support version, and you have the 1910, which is the later version. So if you're going to install Nextcloud here, I would rather recommend you install LTS, as you'll have the most support and the most supported packages. So you would have to click download and download the image. I already done that. So I can close this window and I'll fire up here VirtualBox. And I'm going to create a new machine by clicking on new. And the name will be Ubuntu Server. And I'm going to give the machine 4 gigabytes of RAM and click create. Now for the OS, I'm going to create a 40 gigabytes disk and I'm going to call this OS and click create. Now I want to tweak some things and add some more storage here. So I'm going to click on settings and under system, I'm going to go to processor and bump this up to 2. I'll let display as it is, as I'm not planning to install any desktop environment in here. Under storage, I'm going to click on the controller to add more disks. Then I'll click on the add disk button and click create new disk. VDI, it's okay. And I'm going to create for the second disk 160 gigabyte of space and name this disk data 1. So you might want to adjust this accordingly depending on the space you need. And I'm just going to click now create. And I'm going to create a new one again, clicking on the same button, create new disk. And I'm going to create again one for 160 and name the disk data 2 and click create. Now I'm going to connect the ISO I downloaded already to my IDE controller. So here is the Ubuntu Live Server. And the last step is under network. I'm going to click on bridged adapter here and permissions mode to allow all so that I have my own IP and then click OK. Now I'm ready to start the machine, so I'll just click start. So installation language, English is fine, so I'll just hit enter here. I'll have to change, as usual, my layout as I have a Swiss keyboard. So I'm going to scroll down here to Switzerland and select my keyboard layout. I'll select Node keys here. With the tab key, I move down and hit done. Now I have cable internet here. So as you see, I have already my IP 192.168.178.62. If you would have Wi-Fi, you have the choice here to configure the Wi-Fi as well. So for me, this is fine, and I'll just hit done. I don't have any proxy, so I'll hit done. Normally here, the closest mirror is selected, and in this case, for me, it's perfect. So I'll just hit done again. Yes, I want to use an entire disk for the OS, so I'll just hit enter here and select the smallest disk, which you see here is the third one, which I labeled OS in VirtualBox. So I'll just select that and hit enter, and I'll accept the changes, and I'll just hit done. I'm sure I want to continue, yes, and hit continue. Now I can create a user here, so I'll just put in my name. And the server name, I'm going to give Nextcloud, as it's going to be a Nextcloud instance. Username would be my name and the password. And then just hit done. And yes, I want to install SSH. This will help me to show you guys better how to partition the drives. So I'll just hit enter. And no, I don't want to import any keys. So I'll just move down with tab and hit done. Here you have a choice to install some snaps. If you need some of those, just go ahead and select the ones you want. In my case, I'll just hit tab and hit done. And now it's installing the system. So it's gonna take a while, so I'll be back when it's done. So the system is installed, so I'll just hit reboot. Installation medium is not anymore there, so I'll just hit enter to reboot the system. So now we are at the login prompt, so just log in with my username here and the password. And there you go. As you can see, here is my IP. So I want to pull up now Putty, which is a small SSH utility for Windows. And I'm going to put in the host name here. So I'm going to type in 192.168.178.62. And the appearance, I'm going to bump up the fonts here so that you can see better later. And click open. Yes, I want to connect. And I'll log in as Hermano. And my password. And there you go. So let me go full screen here. So the first thing we need to do is to update the packages. So we'll do this by typing in sudo apt update and hit enter, then the password. It's going to take a moment to check the servers here. And as you can see, I have 53 packages to upgrade. So let's do that by typing in the same command. Instead of update, let's type in upgrade and hit enter. And yes, I want to continue with the installation. It's going to take a moment to download and install here, so I'll be back when it's done. And there you go, so I'll clean up the terminal. Now I want to make sure these packages are in place, so I would reboot the machine and I'll meet you up here once it's done. Type in sudo reboot and I'll see you when I'm back here on the command prompt. So first thing I want to do is to change the root password. So I'm going to type in sudo passwd root and hit enter. Now my password. And now we can enter the new Unix password. So I'm going to choose the password for the root user and retype it. I'm going to need this as I want to format the disk. In order to do that, I need to be root. So I'm going to clean up the terminal. Let's then now format the disks. So I'm going to switch to the root user, enter the password, and clean up the terminal again. And now I'll type in lsplk to see our disks here. As you can see, we have SDA, which has two partitions, SDA1 and SDA2. This is the OS disk. As you can see, it has 40 gigabytes. That's the one I created in VirtualBox. It was for the OS, if you remember that. And then we have SDB and SDC. These are the two 160 gigabytes disks each. And as you can see here, there are no partitions. They are just the disks. So we need to partition actually disk SDB and disks SDC. So let's begin with SDB. I'll use here Fdisk, but you could use any other tool you want. I'll go through step by step with Fdisk anyway. So let's type in here Fdisk and then the name of the device. So in this case, dev/SDB. That's the disk we want to partition first. And hit enter. And there you go. If you type M for help, you'll see what you can do here with this program. Keep in mind, if you have large drives, like 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes, you might want to choose create new empty GPT partition table. And actually, let's go into do that now by typing in G and hit enter. And you can see created a new GPT disk label. So now we want to create the partition. We have just one partition to create on this disk. So I'm just going to type in N and hit enter. Default partition number 1, that's fine. First sector, I'll accept the default. And as a last sector, I'll accept also the default as it's the whole disk. And as you can see, created a new partition, one of type Linux file system and the size of 160 gigabytes. Perfect. Now we need to write these changes to this disk. So I'll just type in W and hit enter. And I clean up the terminal and I pull up again lsplk. As you can see, we have now SDB with SDB1, the partition. So let's do the same process with SDC. So I'm going to pull up fdisk space dev sdc and hit enter. Again, G for the GPT table and hit enter. And then N for new partition, hit enter. Number 1, it's fine. And I'll accept the defaults here and the defaults also here. And then W to write the changes. And it's done. So clean up the terminal. Again, lsblk, and you'll see now we have also SDC1 as a partition. Now we need to format these partitions, otherwise we won't be able to use them. So let's first format SDB1. So I'll type in here mk fs make file system dot ext4. I'm going to give a label to the first partition in SDB. So I'm going to type in -L for label, and I'm going to give the name data1, and then the name of the partition, which is /dev/sdb1, and hit enter. And then it's done. So we'll do the same for the second partition, which is SDC1. So I'll pull up the command again, and I'll change some data here. Instead of calling it data1, I'm calling it data2. And instead of SDB1, I'll type in SDC1 and hit enter. Now it's going to take a moment to write the changes, and it's done. So let me clean up the terminal and pull up lsblk again. Now we need to mount these partitions, and because this is going to be storage for Nextcloud, we need to fuse them together. So the first thing I need to do is actually to create mount locations for these two partitions. So let's do this by first creating the directories. So I'll type in for the first partition, SDB1, I'll type in mkdir, make directory, and the directory is going to be under the mount directory, and it's going to be called data1, and hit enter. And I'll pull up the last command with the up arrow and also create the second directory, but this time I'm going to call it data2 and hit enter. Now we need to put these mount points in the fs tab file, which is the file where all mounted directories are. So let's do this by typing in nano /etc/fs tab and hit enter. As you can see, we have only one entry here for the swap image. We need to put in the two mount points we just created. Several ways how to do this. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible for you to understand. So I'll just type in dev sdb1. So basically it's the name of the partition. Here we'll put the mount location, which we did under mount /data1. The next piece would be the file system type, which is an ext4 file. The next piece of information we'll put in defaults to accept the defaults options. And the next option is a 0, and the next option is actually a 2, which means the file system will be checked at every boot. Now we'll repeat the same process for the SDC1 partition. So we'll type in dev SDC1, which was mounted in mount data2. Again, it's an ext4. Again, we'll give it defaults. And we'll do the same 0 and 2 so that we want to have this checked at every boot. Now we'll hit Ctrl O to write these changes and enter, and Ctrl X to exit the editor. Okay, now that we have done that, we just need to mount these partitions. So we'll type in mount -A. Now let's type in df-h. And as you can see here, we have SDB1, it's mounted in data1, SDC1, it's mounted on data2. So this is basically it for the Ubuntu server installation with expandable storage. In the next video, we're going to install Nextcloud on it, and then later SSL and how to access the installation from outside your local network. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, make sure you like it by clicking the like button below, and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future videos. And if there's anything specific you want me to cover, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.